Hello, this is being recorded. So if you are watching this replay, thank you for being here. And I'm so excited to have this conversation today because I believe that there is so much power in the word no. So I'm really happy that you're here today. And, so there's many things that we get afraid of, especially when it comes to conflict. We don't like to have others be angry with us. We don't want people to be critical of us. So we avoid saying no when we're afraid that it's going to put us in a conflicting situation with somebody else, whether that person is somebody intimate or an intimate partner or a colleague or a friend, a supervisor or a boss. It possibly can be employees or people that work for us. And then many of us try to avoid battles with children, especially because if we feel that we say no to them, they're going to stop loving us for some reason. And as children, we are taught not to go against authority. We're supposed to do what our parents, teachers, and other peoples of power tell us what to do. We obey because we get fearful of being punished by people we love. And really, it sometimes is our desire to please people and to be loved by those that are really important to us. So we start carrying on this worry with us as children into adulthood. And then I'm not sure about you, but I've had things go through my head in the past where things like that worry would start triggering things like, oh my gosh, if I say no, they won't like me, or they're going to leave me, or they'll be mad or upset with me. Can you relate to that inner voice possibly in your head? So just to know that I'm not alone for having that at times, right? So I've named that voice, the inner self-talk, the itty bitty shitty committee. And I talk about it in other webinars or in my email blogs. And, if I could share ways with everyone to have that, let go of that worry, would that be valuable for you? And, this is another thing I'd like to bring up is the word fear. So fear is false evidence appearing real. There's so many times when, we start making up these scenarios in our head of all the things that could possibly go wrong, or what if this, or what if that, and we start going down this track of something that hasn't even happened. And then that fear stops us from moving forward. So I like to say fear is something else too, face everything and rise. So let's get up and let's rise. I'd like to share with you a little bit about one of my stories. So I don't know, has there ever been a time when you just felt so much determination that you thought you could just be a yes man to everything? If you knew me 7 years ago, you would have watched me and thought I had it all together. I had tons of determination. I was doing so many things I loved at once. I was a salon owner, a master colorist taking clients. I was a mentor coach in one of the coach training programs that I graduated from, one of the programs being in Chicago and one in San Diego. And then, I was also an independent contractor as a trainer, coach, consultant, traveling around the country taking private clients. Some would say that I had at least 5 different jobs and wearing tons of different hats. At the time, I was loving everything I was doing. And one of my friends said to me, "You have so much determination, you could move mountains." I was saying yes to every opportunity that came my way. Then something happened. My anxiety started going through the roof. I would find myself working 16 days in a row, working 12-hour days without a break, and this would happen quite often. I was completely wearing myself down. As much as I loved every single thing I was doing, I was completely depleting myself. And then one day I woke up and I said, okay, you cannot be a yes man to every opportunity that comes your way. I started taking things off my plate. I resigned from one of the coaching company that I was mentoring with. So I resigned from 2 programs, and I decided to start taking care of myself. And I decided to start training and running for the Chicago Marathon. Halfway through the training, I was feeling great. And then I was called back from a doctor's appointment that I had, actually a mammogram appointment. And my doctor shared with me, like, you're going to be okay. However, I have some news to share with you. And the news she shared with me, I was completely shocked. I was like, how could this be possibly happening to me? I'm training for a Chicago Marathon, and I was actually raising money for the American Cancer Society in honor of my father. So I was like, is the universe playing a joke on me? So after processing my news, I decided to go to a festival that day with one of my friends called Lollapalooza. And I absolutely love music, and I was surrounded by all these rock stars. And reflecting back, I actually have a picture of me at that event. And when I look back at that picture of me, all I see is a woman that radiates with determination. So this used to be me. And it's one of the reasons why I created this training. And one of my nicknames used to be Wonder Woman's stunt double. I used to be a yes woman to everything that came my way, pretending to be a superhero, and I would get the crap kicked out of me. So this is for you if you've been feeling stuck, burnt out, miserable, having that negative self-talk, run your show, saying yes to everything that comes your way. I just had a call with someone not that long ago, and she was sharing with me that she felt so much resentment because she was taking on so much that she was starting to go into overwhelm. So this is really for you if you're ready to live your life by design and finally take control of your life and empower the word no. All right. So would it be valuable for you? I know we've just had somebody else join, so welcome, Julie. Would it be valuable for you to discover ways to shift your mindset towards what you really want in life? And who here would like to create more abundance in their life and supercharge their life and empower the word no? I 150% believe that we have the power to shift our mindset, eliminate negative beliefs, behaviors, and emotion, and choose to live the life that we love 90% or more of the time without sacrificing your sanity or your paycheck. And this is exactly why I'm so excited to share this information with you today. So some of the things I'm going to go over today are reasons why the word no triggers us so much. What has you and us so afraid of no? And it's really not our fault. It's a lot of it has to do with our unconscious mind. Tips on how to overcome the word no and to create a powerful relationship with it so you can use it anytime with anyone. And how saying no can lead you to saying yes to you. So specifically, some other things I'm going to discuss today are biggest reasons why we get in our own way and allow that itty bitty shitty committee to run the show. And when we'd rather say yes, and then we would instead of saying yes, we say no. So why this is so stifling to your growth and your ability to have and get what you really want. And I'm going to share with you also some tips on how you can start shifting your mindset so you can go after what you want in life and empower the word no. So today I'm going to teach you as much as possible in the limited amount of time we have together. And I promise you, I'm going to show you how you can take it further. So hold your questions to the end. I'm going to, stay afterwards when I'm done so I can give you guys as much as possible today. All right, so we're going to get into it now. So how many of you have heard the phrase Pollyanna pleaser? So that used to be another one of my nicknames. So the Pollyanna pleaser principle is a tendency for people to remember really pleasant things more accurately than unpleasant ones. And research has indicated that at a subconscious level, like the unconscious mind, the mind tends to focus on the optimistic. Well, at the conscious level, it tends to focus on the negative. So what's happening is that our conscious and our unconscious mind is out of rapport with each other. I can speak for myself, and you can check on and see if this relates to you. I would see the good in every single person, every single situation. I, pretty much lived life through rose tinted glasses. On the outside to everybody, I was always smiling and I was happy. I was having fun. However, I really had a hard time saying no to everyone, anyone, and everything. Even employees that I had in my past business that would make requests of me. My biggest fears back then would be that people would either leave me, they would get mad at me, or think bad of me. Guilt would come over me, and the thought of letting somebody else down. And guilt is like anger towards inward. So, I've talked about this itty bitty shitty committee a few times. So I'm going to actually talk about what it is and why it exists. And I believe it's a link to what has us saying yes all the time and has our fear of saying or hearing no. And the truth is that itty bitty shitty committee has not been with us, the whole time. It actually has been, it started to develop when we were kids. Someone else is joining and I am letting them in. Okay, let me make sure she is in. Hi, Yvonne. Just want to say hi. Okay, so the itty bitty shitty committee has developed over time since we were babies. So like when you look at, you may not remember when you were first born, but all of us were babies at one time. Or you may know a baby in your life. And like when you even think about babies, like babies are just pure bliss. We're completely innocent. We're happy, we're joyful, we're full of possibility, we're full of love and confidence. Babies are just pure bliss. They're living in their highest and best selves. Then when babies start to grow up, they become toddlers. And then what do toddlers normally start to hear? No, don't do that. Stop it. Get out of there. We really start to hear the word no at a very early age. Then the toddler turns into a young child. And what do young children normally start to hear? They start to hear more no's. Don't do that. Stop that. Get out of there. They might be, hear inappropriate comments from teachers. They get into mischief and trouble, and they keep hearing no, 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 and more no's. One of the co-founders of the Mindful Awareness Research Center says that there's actually two types of brain states that children may utilize: a yes brain state and a no brain state. The yes kids go through life with a really positive attitude, while no kids often can shut down emotionally. In other words, a yes brain state will approach life with all the positive features, and a no brain state will feel sometimes that they're threatened and feeling like they can shut down. So if children hear no repeatedly, learnings and new things and experiences can prove more difficult and versus someone that was like being encouraged with a lot of yes statements. So as children keep growing up and experiencing things, we start saying yes to things because we don't want to be unliked by other people and to not fit in. So then as we continue to grow up, we're faced with news and magazines and the media and all these experiences from, being a baby to becoming an adult also creates what's called our defense mechanisms. It's almost like our armor. Also, like, as I call it, the itty bitty shitty committee. And what that has done is it's designed to protect us from staying in our comfort zone and playing a small game. It almost becomes like an automatic way of being. Even the people with the most quote unquote perfect upbringing experience negative things and create these survival mechanisms. So I'll just give you examples of myself. Like if you knew me over 15 years ago and a breakdown happened, or I was confronted, I would probably either cry because I wanted you to feel bad for me, AKA not leave me or ignore me, rip your head off and become really defensive, or I would go radio silent and avoid you like the plague. I mean, if anybody can relate to any of these things, you could share it in the chat. So I know that I'm not alone in all this. And the truth is like all of our learnings, behaviors, and change is at an unconscious level. Truthfully, they're so mainly embedded in our unconscious mind that we're not even aware of it. Have you ever found yourself going from one relationship to another, one company to another, possibly one job to another, and you still find that you're experiencing the same patterns and behaviors? You've changed the scenery and the people. However, you're still getting the same results and experiences. The problem is that our negative behaviors and thoughts are so embedded in our unconscious mind, we are not even aware of it. Seriously, it is so ingrained in our unconscious mind, we are not even aware of it. I have been practicing coaching and transformational work for over 16 years now. And when I tell you, I would have this running joke that I wish I could get a lobotomy because my mind was always constantly racing with negative emotions and people pleasing, AKA the Pollyanna pleaser, and it kept running my show. I couldn't quiet my mind down. And then I started practicing and experiencing the work of NLP coaching and timeline therapy. And my mind finally started letting all that crap go and becoming free. And when you work with me more closely, you will experience the same thing. I was coaching one of my clients actually this morning about one of her automatic people pleaser modes. And she got a message from someone she's had a long-term relationship with. It's been hot and cold. And this person made a request of her to do her children's hair at a homecoming event on Saturday. And she's like, Bridget, I don't know. I'm just starting to feel really bad. Like I have a lot going on. I already have a full plate. And, you know, I coached her through it and it's just got clear. Like it's just the automatic way of being of not wanting to let somebody down. So I coached her to like get clear of that. And it's not about her, and just even be like really straightforward, like honoring the person, like, hey, you know, that's awesome that your children are going to this event. However, I am unavailable. I have this option. What would you like to choose? Would you like to choose that option? And, you know, just being really straight, clean, and forward with somebody, you know, so she would unhook herself from going into the people pleasing mode and trying to please her and then do all the other things and like disrupt her Saturday. So I know it's such a little word, but wow, it can be really tough to choke out in certain moments, just like, you know, Erica was feeling this morning, you know, and we have an, you know, an instinctive need to have connection with other people. And it sometimes feels like it's, you know, essential to our survival. And we worry that if we say no, we're going to break the bonds with other people. And then especially people that we're in relationship with, whether it be a child or a coworker or a friend or a significant other. And we're, you know, we get scared that, you know, the other person may feel rejected or they're going to take it personally. So we really sometimes, you know, we try to avoid these feelings, and then we find ourselves saying yes when it even goes against our ethics. And this again is what I coached my client on, so that she can empower the word no, and I'm unavailable, and to give her person some other option to take on. So when I work with you more closely, you know, and when people go through my coaching certification program, we really do start to clear out those negative emotions that could be driving us to say yes when it goes against what we want to do. And we really start clearing out with anger. And then after anger, we work out clearing out the stepsisters of sadness, fear, hurt, and guilt. Fear and guilt are probably two of the most useless emotions that we can carry because they impact our health in such a big way. They cause unnecessary stress, they weaken our immune system, they impact our heart, and they could possibly cause disease. What I do want to share with you, though, is that when you clear out all these negative emotions and negative baggage, like I like to call it, like the ball and chain of negative emotions, no one becomes a zombie and is void of feelings. So let me give you an example. So in the past, if I were to share something new that I was angry about, or I had fear or guilt around, it sometimes felt like it would hold on to me for weeks, months. Sometimes it felt like an eternity. And if I shared a story with you about something negative that I was experiencing, it would be like I would be reliving that emotion all over again. My anxiety used to be so high that on a scale of 1 to 100, it was at 150. And now I can actually say my anxiety is probably like at a 2 out of 100. And now I get to have my emotions. I still get to experience all the emotions, but they come pretty quickly. I let them go pretty quickly, and I just get into action, get what I learned from the experience, and I get to move through it pretty quickly. And then now I can share a story with you, and it was just a story. All the negative emotions are gone. So I think that's pretty cool. So I also want to talk about the importance of getting outside of your comfort zone. So I like to ask everybody, like, what is the definition of insanity? It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. It is said that 90% of the population is choosing to live inside of their comfort zone. 90% of the population is choosing to live inside of the comfort zone. And the World Happiness Report stated that unhappiness was on the rise in 2019. And then we entered a pandemic in 2020, and it shot unhappiness up even higher. So what this is telling me is that there is tons of room for growth in the happiness department all around the world. And the more you get to know me, you will see how that I push myself and my clients to seek out opportunities for growth and abundance. The biggest thing I believe is that every person that we touch is a ripple effect onto somebody else. So the happier we are, the happier everyone else we touch becomes, and the world becomes a better place. So saying yes to yourself leads more happiness, and the world becomes a better place. Kind of like that song, Put a Love in Your Heart, like, and the world becomes a better place. That's out of my comfort zone, by the way, singing. All right. So I like to just invite everyone, like, let's stop being insane. We get to choose, we have the power to choose every single day. And I really love to use the roller coaster ride as an example. So like, if you look at these two people, like the guy with the purple hair, these two people are having the same experience. They're on the same roller coaster next to each other. And the purple hair guy is like choosing fear. He's super scared of everything that's coming his way. He looks like he's terrified. Where the blonde, she is choosing excitement, and she looks like she is having the time of her life, right? So one person's choosing fear and the other person's choosing excitement. And if you even think about it too, like that body sensation that you get in, like, if you have ever experienced that sensation like in your chest, fear and excitement actually feel quite similar. So it's like, even when you're starting to feel that, it's like, okay, what am I excited about? Like, that's the thing you kind of get to choose. So when I choose to come from excitement, my being shifts and I get to create more power and joy for myself. And we get to choose the way we think so that itty bitty shitty committee takes a back seat and no longer takes over our show. So, choosing outside of fear, getting outside of my comfort zone, and filling up my cup, I've chosen to empower the word no and to say yes to myself and create a life I truly love. And I actually had to say no to myself last week. So I was in a mastermind group, and I was sharing with these women all these projects I'm doing. And then before I know it, I was like coaching myself. I'm like, wait a second, I am taking a lot on before the end of the year. So I decided to say no to one of my projects and move it to next year. And I actually signed up for the Chicago Marathon during the pandemic, and I moved it over to this year. And another certification program took over my training, and I didn't train very well for the marathon. So I was like, run the Chicago Marathon or risk getting hurt, or what am I doing? So I decided to powerfully say no to the marathon this year, and I'm going to take it on next year. So life is a roller coaster, and I say, let's enjoy the ride. So if you want to have more peace, love your life through power and joy, and be your highest and best self, I'm going to share with you some tips that I have for you that I can start to help you empower the word no. All right, let's see. All right, so timeline therapy is for when I work with you more closely, and I don't have time to get into that today. So I'm going to share some other tips on how you can start saying yes to yourself more often. So one of the first things I like to share is really starting to focus on what you truly want. Now, I know that sounds simple and easy. However, when I ask a lot of people, what do you want in life? Majority of people start telling me all the things that they do not want, things that are not working in their life. So I'm going to suggest that your unconscious mind has a really big challenge recognizing a negative. So if I said to you, don't think about a blue tree, do not think about a purple pig. How many of you like all of a sudden got a picture in your head of a purple pig and a blue tree? Okay. It's almost like too, if you ever worn anything white or wore white pants and you are doing everything in your power to avoid getting something on your pants, and then before you know it, you spilled ketchup all over your white pants. It's almost like your brain doesn't really realize that you're avoiding that, and it's going towards like opposite. So I really like to share with people, you have to start focusing on what you want, and then that will start coming to you more. And then notice when you're being triggered. So really just having a lot of self-awareness on when something is triggering you, like even before you even start to answer yes or no, or whatever that is, it's like step back, pause, start reflecting, and start really seeing like, okay, so what is this about? What is this like, what is this working with? You know, why is this happening to me? There's so much power in taking long, deep breaths in and out just to get present. Like in and out to slow ourselves down. And then I cannot tell you, like practicing filling up your cup, filling up my cup when I was just, that is my main priority. And I actually I put time off in my calendar to have structure and systems in place. So I'm always filling up my cup, and you just keep practicing over and over and over again. So I'm going to just share with you some just key tips on how to effectively say no. You just say it, be straight, no more beating around the bush, and then be assertive, but courteous. Like, the example I shared with my client this morning, understanding other people's tactics. I know as myself, as a coach, it's really like everyone has their own experience and challenges. Like, you sometimes, it's like even that like iceberg effect. You really only see what's on top. We don't see all the other things that are going on underneath that for somebody else. So it's understanding coming from where somebody else is coming from, definitely setting healthy boundaries. I know I've had to set a lot of healthy boundaries in the years, whether I'm either not speaking to somebody as much, learning better communications for myself, knowing, when to say no for sure. And then it's also, ending relationships that weren't serving me. Being curious about something, putting questions back on somebody else, asking open-ended questions. And this is one thing I love to coach and train on, building rapport and communication. And one of the things is like really getting curious and asking a lot of open-ended questions to somebody else, but starting out with asking for permission. Like, hey, may I ask you something? hey, I'm curious about that. I'm really interested in knowing what you think, or interested in knowing about, what has you asked me that. Being firm, being selfish, ethically selfish. I was just talking to someone the other day, and at the end of our call, she's like, I just have to let you know, I just really need to be selfish and make the right decision for me. And I was like, you go, girl. We got to be more selfish at times. We put other people first. There's times when, and when I say we, not maybe all the time, but experiences is that a lot of people put other people first and we put ourselves on the back burner. Well, there's times when we need to be selfish. We need to be filling our cup up. And my last tip, and I've been hearing this for years from one of my coaches and mentors. Her name's Kathy Fleming. Like, she would always say, like, to us, like, no is a complete sentence. There are times when it's not necessary whatsoever to give an explanation. No is a complete sentence. And, I'm utilizing this slide because, one of the things that, well, Kathy used to say it all the time too, is like, are you willing to disappoint another to be true to yourself? I'm going to say that one more time. Are you willing to disappoint another to be true to yourself? And another thing, what this slide does represent for me, and what I'm going to talk about, is that life is like a blank slate. Okay. We're in the moment now, and our future is a blank canvas, and we get to create and paint it any which way we choose. All right, so I'm going to ask you to stay with me a little bit longer because I have a little bit more to share with you. So if you can join me at Coach Bridget Sobis on Facebook and Instagram, and then you'll find more tips on how you can get connected to your essence, have that itty bitty shitty committee take a back seat once and for all. And we covered a lot today, and I know it's not easy to make changes at times. So I decided to offer something pretty cool for this group. So it's an opportunity to have a private one-on-one power and joy discovery session with me. And the session is at no cost. So you can imagine that offering one-on-one sessions takes time. So if you qualify, I have openings for everybody. And it's, it is based on a first come, first serve basis. So it's your best interest to schedule right away. And there's no cost involved, and it's a $497 value, but there's one catch, and I would like you to qualify to secure one of those spots. So I am going to put in the chat my Calendly link, and then I'm going to, I just did that. Okay. I just read some of the chats. Sometimes I'm able to read all the chats after the training is over because I'm doing all the things. But yeah, so you can go on there, schedule, when you qualify. I'm going to share with you how you qualify. And what the outcome of this session is going to be, is that you're going to really discover what negative emotions and limiting beliefs have been getting in your way, and what has been stopping you, and what you can, how you can get connected, what you genuinely want in life, and what you can do about it. Okay. So these are the ways that you qualify. So you're really ready to have a life by design versus default. You're ready to have that negative self-talk and itty bitty shitty committee take a back seat once and for all. You are ready to let go of what I call the quote ball and chain of negative emotions that have been running the show. And you're ready to have peace of mind and mental freedom. And I promise you this, even if we never talk again after this session, at least you will know what negative emotions and limiting beliefs have been stopping you and getting in your way, and what you generally want out of life, and what you can do about it. All right. So I recommend you schedule with me now. And, sometimes I get emails from people and they're like, I really wish I missed the session with you. And, it does upset me when people say that they want to make change and that they do nothing about it. So I want you guys to remember the definition of insanity. So go sign up with me for that power and joy discovery session, because I'd like to make sure I have time to focus on each individual. And if you're listening to this recording, don't worry about if the sessions are taken, just apply anyway, because then, you will be next in line. And I know this may be a concern for some of you, but sometimes people worry that I'm going to try to sell them something. Yes, of course, I have coaching programs, training programs. I have a coach certification program, but that's not my style. Of course, if you want to learn what it looks like to work with me, we can talk about that on the call. But my main objective here is that you walk away with getting clear on what negative emotions have been stopping you and taking over your show, and discover what you truly want in life and what you can do about it. So now that you have a way to get a hold of me on my Calendly link, I'm just going to go over some of what my branded system has been. And it's my Power and Joy coaching sessions. And really what it is, it's an interpersonal game change that infuses hypnotherapy, timeline therapy to have long lasting, profound results with my clients that I work with. So I've worked with women that have increased their revenue by 30 to 50%, creating their dream paychecks, even in a pandemic, having more personal freedom, creating a life and business that they love by design versus default. So we get clear on what you really want in life. It's a lot about what we talked about today. I really support people at an unconscious level to clear out those negative emotions and limiting beliefs that have been dragging behind you, and to create at an unconscious level new powerful thoughts and behaviors. I support people on getting clear with their financial goals and budgets, and how to really get rapport with others so that you can have awesome communication skills and skyrocket sales and income. And then, if someone's a business owner, I'll analyze their business. And then I support them on running key turn businesses. And all of my programs on the one-on-one programs are customized for each individual and business. And so once you submit to the form, it's again, my free gift to you. And again, I want to just share with you the things that you're going to walk away with, getting clear about the things that have been holding you back, and really getting clear on what you want. And it's a $497 value, and it's my gift to you for being on this training. So it's one thing to think about change, and it's another to take actionable steps towards it. And I believe it's no accident that we are here together. And if you believe that too, I really do looking forward to our next steps together. And, I just kind of I'm going to share this quote with you, but I really want to tie in the last part of my story that I shared with you in the very beginning, when I was just taking everything on and being Wonder Woman stunt double. So I often look at that picture of me at that festival. And when I look at that woman, I just saw a woman that was determined to be a cancer warrior. And I'm really, I'm emotional right now, because a really dear friend of mine, one of my first mentors and coaches, she's in hospice right now battling cancer. So you just got a little emotional there. And that just really reminds me to, life is short and we have one life to live. And I put my health first. I started filling up my cup, saying no to every single opportunity that came my way. The lessons that I've learned have been to slow down, have put healthy relationship boundaries in place, schedule more time for myself to take care of me. And I'm really so happy right now that I sometimes can pinch myself. And I have a balanced life, and I've been healthy for 6 years running. I'm stronger than ever and more determined than ever in my life, and becoming more real with myself and saying more no often. I started to choose what was ultimately best for me. And what I'm here to tell you today is that learning to empower the word no, I love my life more than ever. So I look forward to connecting with you. And thanks for being with my sadness. But it is a great lesson to learn. So I am going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to be with all of you. Hello. So thank you for being with me. Hi, Julie. How are you guys? So thanks. Thanks. Hi, Yvonne. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I wasn't prepared to get choked up, but that happens. Yeah, I was gonna go actually visit her in person. She's in hospice, and I found out an hour before the training that she's not doing very well. So it's all good. But I came here and I was committed to you guys for showing up. So thank you so much and being with my sadness because it's just part of life. Does anybody have any questions for me? Anybody like to add or say anything? You're Yvonne, you're on mute.
Yeah, first of all, my empathy with you. I deal with elderly people, and I don't know if you're meant to elderly, but
Yeah.
I'm supporting caregivers.
Oh,
And so part of the trajectory is going to be, or it, has been actually, because I've been doing direct care. Now I'm going to be a coach. I'm trying to do that. And hospice and eventually grief are two, that's the end of it. I went through that with my mom.
yeah.
And I particularly work with people who have dementia, or caregivers of people who have dementia.
Okay.
I support the people with dementia by supporting the caregivers.
Gotcha.
And
Thank you for doing that.
and a big part of my program that I see as something that I would be referring out to people with more training. I mean, I've taken NLP courses with I can't I can't think of it right now, but it's been a few years. And so I'm in the process of seriously launching, and having referral partners, people that are more expert in a particular area. When I see a need, and I mean, caregivers can be such people pleasers, I mean, I was really identifying with that. And myself, I'm kind of over that now a little bit. I'm a lot more assertive than I used to be.
Gotcha.
But when I saw your work, I thought, this is something that I need to incorporate in my program. I've already thought about it. And things are happening where everything I need just drops into my inbox. It's like, oh yeah, I need to learn about this. Oh, there it is. And then you dropped in, and I downloaded your nice brochure. That was really nice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's what really attracted me to you. So
Yeah.
I'm so glad I came today.
I'm glad you did too.
I interrupted I don't know if you know Sage Levine, but she's having a big event for 3 days. And so I said, okay, well, I'm gonna, take off, and then I'll go back because that's not over yet. But that's great. I'm so glad I took this break.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, and you just did this, and I was just thinking I got to get in touch with your heart, because that's exactly what you showed us. You were very calm and collected and professorial, and then and then there came your heart, just boom, it just kind of. So, and that's perfectly all right. It just showed a warmer human side of you outside of the intellectual, right? When you're teaching, you're mostly in your head. But I don't mean you, one is.
Yeah,
I'm going to take my leave, and thank you for sharing this. It was significant. I appreciate it.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. All of you ladies.
Finnish by any chance?
Pardon?
Is your ancestry from Finland?
No, Polish and German.
Well, me too.
And a little Bohemian. I
The
like
blonde Poles.
Bohemian
Yeah,
in it.
there's a whole blonde.
Yeah.
Descended from the Vikings, right?
Yeah,
I'm Slavic.
Polish. Yeah, some
Slavic
Slavic
side.
for sure.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll be talking.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I look forward
made
to
the
it.
appointment. Yeah.
Yeah, I look forward to it. Thank you so
Me
much.
too.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye now. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye. Have a great rest of your training, other training.
Thank you. Bye now.
Do you ladies have anything else you want to share?
No, just thank you, like I said in the chat, for your authenticity, and the vulnerability does draw it in. So never apologize for showing the human side of who you are, because there are a lot of people that you will end up, I'll say one, I remember doing a presentation somewhere in person some years ago. And what someone said to me, because I thought when it happened, like, why am I even going here or saying that, saying this, because it was a little off script. And after I got finished, somebody said to me, your vulnerability, your authenticity, and your detail, that detail that you just let out released me to know that I wasn't crazy, that it was okay to experience it. And I've been holding on to it for so many years. And because of your vulnerability and your authenticity and being able to share that detail, it helped me to now know that I have permission to. So you never know who you're going to give permission to, because as the person putting it on with the platform and the thing we're supposed to.
Yeah.
So saying no to that image for you worked out well tonight.
Oh, you know what? I want to say thank you for, I don't even realize I said sorry. Did I say sorry? I don't even remember.
Yeah,
I don't
you
even remember.
did,
But like,
you did.
well, like that's just another one of those automatic
Those things that we
program
think,
things.
yeah, automatically,
Like,
yeah.
why are we so sorry about
We're
everything?
sorry for, right, we're so sorry for so many
Like,
things.
such an automatic word that pops out of our
Right,
mouth.
right,
It's like
right,
another webinar to write. Stop
right.
saying sorry.
I get it. I have to run, but it was really great. It was really great. Bye, Julie. And bye, Bridget.
All right, bye. Look forward to
Bye-bye.
connecting with you in the future.
I just want to say thanks. And yeah, don't apologize for being real.
That's right.
I'm actually
Inviting
not
me.
sorry, but
But yeah, it's automatic.
but I'm here to serve, you guys and everyone that shows up and everyone that's watching the recording. That's my first and foremost as a trainer,
Right.
So, I didn't even realize I said sorry, I'll be honest, but thank you for bringing it to my attention because I'm gonna get that.
Nope. That's what we're telling you. Nope, you don't. Well, yeah, get the sorry out, but
Yeah, get
not
the
the
sorry
other
out of
part.
there. Yeah, no, I want to be truly authentic. Yes,
Right, right,
vulnerable, but yes, saying the word sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna write my own webinar about that. Practice what I'm preaching.
All right.
All right, ladies, thank you so much.
Bye.
I look forward to connecting with you in the
Looking
future.
forward to it. Bye.
Have an amazing evening.
You
Bye.
too.
All right, bye-bye.